Oh, hello, we're live. Not sure if anybody is there yet. If you are, just drop. I've just realised I've put a face massage. If you are there, just drop a little comment. Oh, hello, honey. Hello. So I know I'm live. Good. At least all the connections are working. I'll just give it a few more seconds. Hi, Sarah. Just give it a few more seconds just to give it a little bit for anybody just gathering all their things together. But what I would say is, if you're going to do this session, it would be a good idea if you have clean hands, because we're going to be touching our face with a face massage. To begin with, it would be a good idea if you have clean hands. So go and wash those hands if you haven't done that lately, because obviously we're going to be touching the face. So I'll just give you a little bit of time to go and do that before we commence. Hola, Teresa. Hello, hello. Nice to see you. And anybody else that might be there live that hasn't actually done. Oh, hi. Hello again, Sam. Oh, it's so nice to see some faces, some names that I know. Not a great connection. Okay. Well, if you haven't got a great connection, apologies for that. But I will post this a little bit later, so you'll be able to join in, watch it later on. Okay. Well, as I said, if you've only just come on, if you haven't got any clean hands, please just go and wash your hands. You are going to need clean hands to do this face massage to begin with. And then we're going to go straight down to the yoga mat for some really lovely deep yoga stretches, which are just going to create so much space. And I hope you'll feel amazing by the end of it, because I don't know about you, but whenever I stretch my body at the moment, I really feel how tight I am. So hopefully these deep stretches are going to help you. Alrighty, so I'm going to assume that your hands are all clean now, and if not, then you've still got a couple more seconds. Just come back in as and when you've washed your hands. So I'm actually going to start quite close to the camera, so sorry about that. Gosh, my hair's getting so long. Is everybody else finding that? Because we can't get to the hairdressers, can we? You have got hairdressers in the family. Yes, indeed, that's you, Sarah. You are so lucky, because I don't know what I'm going to do in a few weeks' time, and my hair really needs a cut. So hence why I'm wearing little hair bands and stuff like that now to try and hold it back off my face. Anyway, right, listen, let us begin. So you are going to, if you have got some, you're going to need some facial oil or a little face cream. And if you haven't got either oil or cream, it doesn't matter. You can still do this face massage. It just makes it a little bit easier for the fingers to glide over the skin if you've got a little bit of oil. But if you haven't, doesn't matter, we can do an alternative. So first of all, I'm going to suggest that we're going to start with just a little bit of stretching of the neck and the shoulders and the upper back before we start our face massage. So if you're sitting nice and comfy and ready to go, we're just going to start by just taking a few shoulder rolls up and round and back. So there you go. Hopefully you're joining in and I'm not the only one doing this. But just do a few slow shoulder rolls. Taking some deep breaths as you just roll the shoulder around. Great stuff. Alrighty, just another couple of circles round. And then relax the shoulders down. Okay, just release the shoulders and the hands down beside you. Now let's continue loosening up the muscles at the side of the neck and the upper back. So take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lower your chin down to your chest and breathe out as you lower the chin to the chest. Just let the head drop forward as far as it wants to. And then as you inhale, gently lift the head back on top of the spine. Inhale, lift it back up. And then exhale, chin down to chest as you breathe out. Just let it drop as far as it wants to. And then one more time, inhale, lifting up. And then exhale again. This time you're going to hold your head down for 3 slow deep breaths. So just let your head fall forward, part your lips a little bit so the teeth don't touch and your lower jaw can relax. And just taking some lovely slow deep breaths in and out here, as we just use the weight of the head just to help release and stretch the back of the neck and down into the upper back. So just releasing the head, releasing the neck, taking another slow deep breath in and out here. And then inhale, slowly lift the head back on top of the spine. Great stuff. And then as you exhale, very simple. Exhale, turn your chin towards your left shoulder. So just a little stretch from the neck, well actually from the inside of the ear or down. Exhale, just turn to the other side. So just gently turn the head as far as you comfortably can. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale to the other side. So just helping just to sort of stretch out and loosen the tissues in our neck. And then one more time the other side, inhale, and then exhale to the other side. Alrighty, inhale, come back to center. This time as you exhale, lower your left ear to your left shoulder. So keep the right shoulder down, so don't let that lift up. Left ear to left shoulder, feel that little stretch again down the side of the neck and across the top of the shoulder. And then inhale, lift the head up on top of the spine. Exhale, other side. Or you might notice already where you've got some tension in the neck. Inhale to the center. Exhale to your left. And then one more time the other side. Inhale. Exhale over. Inhale, center once again. Exhale, hold it to your left ear, left shoulder. Hold it here for 3 slow deep breaths. So again, part the lips so the teeth don't touch. Just let the lower jaw relax. And just take some slow deep breaths in and out here as you just give a little bit more time for the right side of the neck just to stretch and lengthen. You might be surprised maybe at how stiff you feel in the neck. And then just one more deep breath in and out. And then on your next inhalation, lift the head back on top of the spine. And exhale, of course, do straight to the other side so we balance things out. Now keep the left shoulder dropping down. Try and keep your gaze forward, not down to the floor. So keep the ear balanced over the shoulder and the eyes forwards. And then one more slow deep breath in and out. Alrighty, inhale, head back on top of the spine. And just give the shoulders another couple of rolls around. Just getting a little bit of blood flow and mobility into the shoulders, the shoulder blades and the upper back. Making sure everything feels pretty loose before we go on. Alrighty, and then relax the hands and arms down. Now a little bit of face stretching before we do our facial massage. So begin by, now you can't see me, but you can see me, but I can't see you doing this. So don't worry about what it looks like, okay? Just doing some very slow, say the word why, but very slow and very deliberate. So you'd say it look a little bit like this. Why? But you're doing it slowly, quietly. You don't have to say the word, all right? So it'd be why. Just keep doing this very slow whys. Doesn't matter what you look like, no one can see you. And just another couple. Okay, so you should feel hopefully a little bit of warmth around the lips and also just loosened up some of the main masticator muscles in your jaw as well. Right, we are now going to start a little bit of a face massage. So if you have oil or a face cream with clean hands, clean fingers of course, just get a little bit of the oil on your fingers or your hands and just start pressing it all over your face. So underneath the eyes, the chin, and the forehead as well. And if ever you need any more oil, like if you find that your skin soaks it up, in fact, I'm going to get a little bit more on my neck. If you find that your skin soaks it up and you start to find that when you're doing this massage, you start to find that your fingers are kind of like dragging, then get a little bit more oil or cream. So because you don't really want to drag the skin, it's a lot easier if you glide, okay? So once you've got little bit of oil all over the neck, the face, the forehead. Then we can begin. All right, so don't worry if you haven't got the oil or cream, you can still do this. We'll do something slightly different. Okay, so we are going to start. Just put my little lid on my oil bottle so I don't accidentally knock it over. We're going to start with taking your thumbs underneath your chin, so the centre of your chin, thumbs underneath your chin, and then just curl your 2 index fingers inwards, and just start by gently sliding fingers, or your knuckles I should say, up your jaw. So you're just kind of framing, I'll just turn to the side, you're just kind of framing the jawbone from the centre all the way out to the edge of the jaw. So just doing this a few times, and if you haven't got oil or a cream, then just do it by pressing, okay? So rather than you dragging your skin, you just press. So again, I'll turn to the side, and you would just press, okay? Just press the muscles, press the skin, so without dragging, okay? But I've got a bit of oil on, so I can just glide fingers up here. So once you've done a few of these sort of stretching, gliding from the centre out to the side of the jawbone, coming back to the centre again, and again using 2 little bent fingers and still having your thumbs underneath your chin, you're then just going to rub or make little circles from the centre all the way up the sides of the jaw and working all the way to the end of your jaw, okay, that little square part, all right? So from the centre, just working your way, little circles all the way up, okay, and then coming back to centre. And you can use as firm or as light a pressure as you like. I quite like a firm pressure because I like to feel as if the blood flow is being stimulated. You sort of start to feel the blood a little bit warmer in the areas that you're massaging. And I like to feel a little bit of warmth there because then I know that I'm stimulating blood flow to this area. And then just one more time, really easy moves. But it's really good because it helps to release tension. So if you've been clenching your jaw or grinding your teeth, this is really good to just help release tension. Also helps to release any of our regular facial expressions. Right, the next one you're going to do is just using your 2 index fingers, just start on the inside of the nose. So just sort of at the base of your, and I'm going to hold my thumbs in. My thumbs are wrapped in, my fingers are out, and just press your fingers into the little cheek pads here, either side of your nose. And again, then just press, so release, and then move up a little bit. You're just working your way underneath your cheekbone, all right? So just working all the way up to the edge of the cheekbone and finishing at the side of your head on the temples, either side, and just do a few little circles around. So that's just on the inside of your ear, right? Just on the side of the ear, you know your temples are, and then come back again to that little paddy part just on the inside of your nose, and you can either again press and release, move along, press, release, move along, press, release, working all the way up to the cheekbones, and then just massage again around the temple. And then this last one again, you can either press all the way up or you can do little circles. It's completely up to you, all right? So whatever feels right for you, but just trace along your cheekbone. And again, if you feel or find any kind of little points that feel a little bit tight or tense, you might want to perhaps stay there a little bit longer and just continue to massage and get a bit of blood flow into that area. So we're just going to do it one more time from the sides of the nose and then out towards the temples. So it does make it easy if you've got a little bit of face oil or cream, because then your fingers can slide and not drag. So as I said, remember, you go as firm with your pressure or as light as you like, okay? Okay. And then this one, I really like this one, from my favourites. This is where you need to get your thumbs, and your thumbs are going to go just on the inside of each eyebrow, okay? So I'm not actually resting fingers on eyes, they're just on the inside edge of each eyebrow. So I hope you can see this here. And then bring your palms together and lean forward onto your thumbs and just gently turn your head, say no, right? Just kind of rock your head side to side. So your thumbs are just pressing on the inside edge of your eyes. And it's quite relieving. Again, you might even not realise perhaps how much tightness you have there. This might be where you've been concentrating and frowning and you've been furrowing your brow, but just kind of rock your head side to side. Can you feel that? I hope you can. And then lift your head back up again. Little pinching movements now. We're going to work along the eyebrow and just pinch and release all the way along the eyebrow. Pinch and release. So pinching, releasing, pinching, release, pinch and release all the way along the eyebrow. Just do this a couple of times again. So you go as far as heavy or as light as you wish. And then once you've pinched along the eyebrow a few times, just take your index fingers again and just gently stroke along the eyebrow. Again, don't drag the skin. So if you haven't got any face oil, just gently press all the way along the eyebrow. Okay, pressing and releasing, pressing and releasing. So either slide or press, whatever is good for you. And then again, finishing at the temples either side, 1 or 2 fingers. Just do a little massage of the temples. If you know where your temples are, I'm sure you do. Okay, lovely, lovely. Okay, and then moving on to your forehead. Get my hair out of the way. Moving on to your forehead, you're going to bring your fingers together to meet in the center of your forehead. And then just very gently slide out towards your hairline, okay? So from the center of the forehead, slide out towards the hairline. Do this a couple of times, maybe 5 times. And again, as hard or as light as you wish, but just gently sliding out. And then just one more time, sliding from the center out to the hairline. Lovely. And then with 2 fingers once again, then you're just going to slide up the center of your forehead first of all, up towards the hairline. And then work across to the left-hand side, all the way up across the forehead. Work your way back to the center. Go over to the right-hand side of the forehead, up to the hairline. And work your way back to center. Okay, and just do whatever feels good now. Just do a little bit of freestyle. So do whatever stroking, pinching, pressing feels good. And then nearly there. We're going to take your fingers onto your hairline. So just on your top of your forehead, take all 8 fingers onto your hairline and just gently massage the top of your forehead where your hair meets your forehead. So just massage that around. And again, you might be quite surprised that you find some tight spots. And then not forgetting to move to the side of your hairline. So just on the inside edge of your eyebrows. And then last 2 little movements, we're going to take thumb and finger and just sort of rub or roll your earlobe between your finger and thumb. So do both hands at the same time. So just of your ears, so either roll or just pinch. And just kind of get a little bit of blood flow into the ears, have a little bit of a stretch of the earlobes. And then one of my absolute favorites, because we're penultimate one here for the face massage, one of my absolute favorites is to take your thumbs and press them at the base of your skull. So you have a bone at the base of your skull. I think it's called the occiput, but might pronounce that wrong. But just take your thumbs into the very center where your skull bone meets the center of your neck. And I'd like you first, when fingers are up into the hairline, all right? And we're just going to use your thumbs and press your thumbs all the way along the skull bone, all right, the base of your skull, okay, the occiput. So just press all the way along, all the way out to the edges just behind your ears, and then press all the way back again in towards the center. Again, you might be surprised where you've got little tense points. And then once you've pressed a couple of times from the center out towards your ears, then you're going to use your thumbs in the center of your skull bone again, and then just gently slide the thumbs up towards your ears and slide them back. So very small movements, but again, you use as much pressure as you like. What you find there when you circles, little strokes, little pressure points, whatever you want to do. Okay. And then the last one. Hopefully you've still got a little bit of oil on your hands. Just stroke down the neck. Just helping, this helps just to drain the lymph fluid from your face down towards the lymph nodes at the base of your neck. And as I said the other day, our lymph fluid is part of our immune system. Our lymph fluid is filled with bacteria and virus-fighting white blood cells. So we want our lymph system to be working very well at the moment, obviously. Okay, right, lovely. Just coming down to my chest, get rid of the extra oil. And then last thing, if you want to do this, is rub your hands together, get a little bit of heat in your hands. And then when your hands feel nice and warm, you're going to very quickly cup them, or turn to the side, cup your hands over your eyes. So just let the heat of your palms of your hands just soak into your eyes and your cheekbones. And take a couple of slow deep breaths here. And then one more breath. Alrighty, take the hands away from the eyes, maybe the eyes open nice and slowly. And I hope you feel as if the face feels a little bit warmer, like you've stimulated some blood flow, and said you might have even helped. I hope you've helped to release some pressure points that you might have found on the back of your head or on your face itself. Okay, let's move on to the restorative yoga part. So I'm going to move back towards my mat now, so I can hopefully get the scene a little bit easier. So hopefully you have a pile of cushions, maybe a couple of blankets near to you, but just have them nearby. And I've also got, I don't have any yoga blocks where I am at the moment, so I've also got a couple of big books as well, just in case I need a little bit of extra prop or lift. So the first posture we're going to do is a really lovely one to calm the nervous system. We're going to take your big toes together and then sit back on your heels. And if this is uncomfortable for your knees, don't worry, I'll give you an alternative in just a second, but let me set you up first. You're going to take a couple of, well, not a couple, we're going to take a few pillows actually. I'm just going to take 3, but you can have as many as you like. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to have this base one here, and then my other 2, I'm just going to have a little bit of an angle. Can you see that? More or less, más o menos. Okay, good stuff. And then you sit so the cushions, the pillows are in between you, and then just drape yourself forwards and over. I need a little bit of extra pillow here. Oh, hang on, just need to set it up because you want to make sure that your head, that's a bit better. You want to make sure that your head is resting on a pillow. You don't want to have the head without support. You know, that's not so comfortable for the neck. So adjust yourself so you've got support for your head. And then take your arms down on the floor and turn your palms upwards. And then close your eyes. Now, if you're not comfortable, if your knees are not comfortable in this position, then very slowly come up out of this one. And you're going to do exactly the same, but with your legs stretched out in front of you. So you don't have to bend your knees if that's uncomfortable for you. So again, just get yourself nice and comfy and just drape your body weight over the pillows, okay? All right, now, whichever position you're in, either one with the legs stretched out or the legs tucked under behind you, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit. So please stay where you are and close your eyes if you wish, because that's really calming for the mind. But if you've not done restorative yoga or yin yoga before, let me just tell you a little bit about it. The main difference really with restorative yoga as opposed to a regular yoga class is that in restorative yoga, we tend to hold the postures for a little bit longer, minimum of 3 minutes. Sometimes you can hold them for longer if you have the time, but minimum of 3 minutes. And the reason why you hold the postures for that length of time is that it gives the body's tissue. So I'm not just talking here about your muscles, but I'm thinking here about your ligaments, your tendons, and your fascia, this little sort of webbing that runs all the way through our body, holds everything together. So you're allowing all of your tissues to really fully relax when you hold a posture for a little bit longer. And that's why we use a lot of props, so we can support our body weight. So there's no muscular effort whatsoever. You just completely let go and just let your body just kind of drape over the props, over the shapes. And you just breathe normally.
And every time you breathe out, just encourage your body to let go a little bit more. So just kind of, peel away a little bit more every time you breathe out. Just feel your body getting heavier. So in this position, think of your arms getting heavier, your shoulders getting heavier. And just kind of keep sinking down towards the floor. And after about, say, 30, 40 seconds, you'll start to notice that actually your tissues, your muscles, particularly in this position in your legs and your back, you'll start to notice that your muscles actually have started to release, and you start to feel a little bit more comfortable in the postures. And you also sometimes find that actually you can go a little bit deeper as well. So if you get to a place where you actually feel as if you could fold a little further, a little deeper, then just go into it. Just allow your body to fold into it. But the thing about restorative yoga is it teaches us patience, because you can't force your body's tissues to open, to stretch. You've got to just, have a little bit of patience and give your body some time to open back up and let you in. So if anybody's neck is uncomfortable facing this way, you can always turn your head and face the neck the other way, just to make sure we don't miss, one side of the neck, a little stretch. But it is nice to do this with the eyes closed. So today we're going to hold each of our restorative yoga poses for about 3 minutes. So I'm just going to check my watch, see where we are. Yeah, we're okay. I'm just going to have 1 more minute in this posture. Remember, each time you breathe out, just sink a little more. I think that's the most challenging thing for most people, is just allowing your body to just let go. We're so used to always doing things or being in control. Actually, the challenging part is actually just to let go of control and just allow yourself just to be, just to surrender. We don't always have to be doing stuff, and we don't always have to live our lives by a to-do list. Sometimes we've also just got to go with the flow and just let go. All right, 3 more breaths here. And then maybe you're taking your last deep breath in and out now. Okay, lovely. Now you move really slowly out of these postures. So turn your palms down towards the ground and walk your hands back towards you, and very slowly bring yourself back up. So you do take your time to go in and out of these postures slowly, okay? Because if you kind of move very fast in or out, then you'll tend to find your muscles suddenly quickly seize up to hold and support the skeletal frame. But no, just move slowly in and out. Okay, the next one we're going to do is very similar, but slightly more deeper on the inside edge of our thighs. These little areas that perhaps we don't get to stretch very often. So same position, have the pillows in front of you, or the cushions, and just take your legs a little bit wider. Now I'm going to suggest that you release your buttocks flesh out from underneath you. So just take hold of the buttocks flesh and pull it back, all right? This will help you release your sitting bones, and also then help you tilt forward a little bit more. I'm going to come around to the side, so hopefully you can see this. So legs are nice and wide. Take the legs as wide as you possibly can. And if straight away, if you're feeling the inside ligaments of your knees, if they're feeling a little bit tight, like it feels like you're overstretching them already, then just start by lifting your knees up a little bit. And again, you can always place a couple of cushions underneath there if you want to, or the odd book, or whatever, whatever you've got if you want to support the knee. All right, so it is good to have some support underneath the knee, and then the legs can really relax. So if you need to start with the knees bent, either with a little pillow underneath or a little book, whatever feels good, but just give your knees some support. And then you might find after a minute or so that actually the inside ligament of the knee actually starts to release, and you can find actually you'll be able to lower your legs down to the ground. So same thing, wide legs, seated forward fold this time. So this time you're really going to feel this deep stretch on the inside of the thighs. So here we go, leaning forward over your pillows again. Now allow your back to round, so you don't have to have a flat back like you normally would in yoga. So just allow the back to round. And again, if you want to turn your head to the opposite way, then that's totally fine. Just make sure your neck feels comfortable. But turn your palms up. This will just help the hands and the arms feel a bit heavier. Close your eyes and take your attention, your awareness to wherever you feel this deep stretch the most. So for me, I feel this really on the inside of my knees. I feel it on the inside of my thighs. You might feel it other places. But just take your attention, your awareness into those places and really focus your awareness and your energy there. And every time you breathe out, consciously relax and soften through that area. All right, every time you breathe out, just release and release and release those areas. So just encourage any tightness, any tension just to evaporate out of your body. I'm just checking the time so I make sure we only hold this for the length of time we need to. So it's a nice one to practice some deep, slow breathing. So inhale deeply through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth with a sigh. So do that a couple of times. Deep breath in. Breathe out with a sigh. And just do that as many times as you like, that breathing out with a sigh. And the reason why that's good is every time you breathe out heavy like that with a sigh, it facilitates a very deep, profound release inside of you. You might even notice that when you breathe out with a heavy sigh, you might even notice that the inside of your body just seems to let go a little bit more. So just, it's really nice. Now, how's the inside of your knees and the inside of your thighs? Are they beginning to feel a little bit more released? Hopefully they are. So if you need to take out any pillows underneath your knees, if you started with pillows or books, then just take those out of the way, see how that feels. And if it's not good for you, then keep those pillows and books in place. Just find your comfortable edge, find a place, position, these postures where you feel a comfortable stretch, but it's a stretch that you know you could hold. You're not sort of struggling to hold it at all. So we're just going to take another 30 seconds here. Slow, deep breathing. Three more breaths. And then after your third breath again, turn your palms down to the ground and very slowly walk back up towards you. How does that feel so far? Can you sort of feel a little opening as come into your body? Okay, remember we're going to move very slowly out of this. So we're going to keep your pillows kind of where they are, but this time your base pillow is going to be like so, and then you're going to have either one or two pillows at an angle. Can you sort of see that here, a bit of an angle? Because then we're going to spin around, and we're going to lay back on these. Now I'm just going to have that pillow to the side in case I need it, but you're going to lay back. So I'm just going to get the base of my spine, hopefully you can see this base of my spine right up against my top pillow. And I'm going to lay back, and actually I need this one underneath my head as well, because you want to make sure you've got some support underneath the head, okay? You don't want to have the head hanging back, because that might be a little uncomfortable on the back of your neck. So just have a little support underneath. Now, a couple of choices here with your legs. You can either have the feet wide and drop the knees in. Okay, this is really good if you have any lower back issues. So you can just stay like that with the arms out to the side. Or if you're okay, and if you're okay with your lower back, this one is my favorite. Bring the soles of the feet together, so like little frog legs, and then you can take your arms overhead and just drape them towards the ground, or even out to the side, and like little cactus arms. And I absolutely love this posture. It's called supported cobbler's pose, or supported Supta Baddha Konasana.
So I'm going to turn my head so I look up towards the ceiling so my neck is in a straight line. And it's good to close the eyes as well, because this also helps to quieten your brain. So just go ahead and let your eyes gently close. Let your arms just fall out to the side with the palms turned upwards. By turning your palms up, it's going to help to open through your shoulders and also across your upper chest. Again, I'm just going to check my watch so I know we hold this for 3 minutes. So please just take some slow, deep breaths in and out. You can breathe out through the mouth again with a sigh. And when you're in these restorative yoga postures, try not to fidget too much. So come into the posture, make yourself comfortable, get all the props that you might need around you. And then try not to fidget. Try and stay still, because every time you move or fidget, you're activating a muscular response in your body. And we actually want our muscles to completely let go and not have to work. So get nice and comfy, put the support where you need it, and then stay still and just sink. This one is my absolute favorite because I can just feel how beautiful it's opening out through the chest, through the center of your sternum, opens out through the upper digestive organs. So right now your liver, your stomach, your pancreas is getting a really lovely little stretch out. It's also really good to open out through the lower abdominal organs as well if you're doing these little frog legs with your legs. Really opens out across the lower digestive system, so your large colon is getting a nice little stretch right now. Just going to check my watch just to make sure we don't overrun. Just stay where you are, we're doing fine. We've got about another minute here. So a minute is quite a long time. So just keep letting yourself sink. Let yourself go. So feel your shoulders, your arms super heavy. Let your legs feel very heavy. And just 3 more slow, deep breaths. Always try and inhale through your nose. And you can exhale through the nose or even through the mouth. Just let go, just let go. 1 more breath. Now we're going to move out of this very slowly. So if you have got frog legs, just very gently lift 1 knee up. So place 1 foot on the floor as 1 knee lifts. And then do the same with the other leg. So the foot comes on the floor, the knee lifts. And then bring the arms a little closer alongside you. Turn your palms down. Press onto your forearms and your elbows and slowly come up off your blankets, off your pillows and what have you. Okay. So the next little restorative yoga posture, again, is an absolute favorite of mine. Hopefully you'll like it. I'll turn to the side so you can see it. It's a really good one to help open out across the lower back. So this creates space in and around the sacrum and out to your outer hips. So if you're very tight across the back, you might like this one. So it's called fire log pose, but with a slight modification. So hopefully you can see it. So I'm trying to get the right angle so you can see it. You're going to cross your right calf in front of your left shin, all right? Now make sure it's the calf in front of the shin and not the ankles. Try and get the right calf in front of your left shin if you can. If you can't, and you can only cross the ankles, that's totally fine, okay? But if you can get the calf up to the shin, that's great. And then flex all 10 toes, they're pointing forward. And if you look down, hopefully you might find that your knees actually are hiding your feet or hiding your heels at least. Just check again that your buttocks flesh is released out from underneath you. And then bring the hands onto the ground. Now you might need a couple of pillows in front of you, but I'm not going to have pillows because I want you to be able to see. But if you need some pillows in front of you, do. But hands on the ground, inhale, lengthen up. And then as you exhale, tiptoe the hands forward and start to lean forward over your legs. So take your hands as far forward as you want to. And again, you do want to have a couple of support, you want to have maybe a couple of pillows underneath your head, but just rest your forehead on your pillows
or on a couple of books. And just get yourself comfortable, get as many pillows as you need, as you like. And the key thing here is to keep all 10 toes pointing forward, all right? Because this helps to open out across the lower back. So all 10 toes forward. So I'm going to take my pillows to one side because I want to be able to show you what we're going to do. But might be good, excuse me, might be good for you to have pillows. And then you're just going to take your arms forward, rest your forehead on the floor or the pillows, close your eyes, and let your back round. Now, if you're doing this on a super hard floor, I know some of you are doing it on tiled floor, maybe in Spain, and if this really hurts your ankle bones, then of course you can always bring a pillow or your blanket, if that's what you need, bring it underneath the ankles. So just give a little bit of comfort to those ankle bones, all right? So make any adjustments you need to, so you then know that you'll be able to hold the posture for 3 minutes, okay? So get yourself comfortable. And then once you've got all the props that you need, all the support that you need, then we can start to release into this posture. So just checking my time again so we don't overrun. So here we go. Close the eyes. Part your lips a little bit so the teeth don't touch. And just let your lower jaw relax. And let your tongue rest in the base of your jaw. So your facial muscles and all the muscles around your skull are just relaxed and switched off right now. So again, wherever you feel this stretch the most, so for me, I feel it particularly around my sacrum and it's radiating out towards my outer hips. Wherever you feel this stretch the most, just try and relax those areas each time you breathe out. So on each out breath, just let go another 5%. Just keep releasing, surrendering another 5%. Restorative yoga is a really good way for us to understand and for us to know where the body is holding tension. Because it's not really until you take yourself into some of these postures that you realize actually where you are the tightest and where perhaps maybe you need to stretch out a little bit more often. So don't beat yourself up if you're struggling with any of these postures. Some of them are quite tricky. And just keep releasing down, relaxing, breathing out. Just got another minute here, so a little nice long period of time for you to just let go as much as you can. So restorative yoga really is good. It targets our nervous system, our digestive system. Helps to lower cortisol, one of the stress hormones flooding into our body. It helps to slow the heart rate down. And when the heart rate slows down, that also helps to lower the blood pressure. And when the heart rate is slow and the blood pressure is slow or reduced, then you start to find that the overall body starts to feel much calmer. The head starts to feel a little clearer. And you start to sort of feel generally more at peace and ease. So all just by relaxing and letting go and giving yourself permission just to release control. How are you feeling in your sacrum and the back of your hips? How are they feeling? Just keep taking a few more slow, deep breaths. We'll just hold here for another 3 slow breaths in and out. So inhale through your nose. Breathe out through the mouth with a sigh. Do that twice more, in through the nose and out with a sigh. And then one more time. And then we're going to come out this really slowly. So walk your hands back up towards you, nice and slow. Take your time, take your time. Okay, just in case your knees have stiffened up or your ankles have stiffened up, just stretch your legs out in front of you and just give them a little shake. Let's get a little bit of blood flow back down through the knees and the ankles. This isn't a restorative yoga pose, this is just to get blood flow once again. Now keep doing that for as long as you need to, just until your knees and your ankles feel good again, whilst I tell you what we're going to do for the next one. I don't think you'll need a block, so I don't think you'll need cushions unless you're doing it on a hard floor, in which case you might want to kneel on one of these cushions or your blanket. But this is one of my absolute favourites. Again, I've got lots of favourite restorative yoga poses, but this one is called puppy dog pose. And we have the knees stacked underneath the hips and have your knees hip width apart. Take your arms down the mat in front of you and the hands are going to be shoulder width apart. And then from here, with the arms stretched down in front of you, lower your chest and forehead down towards the ground. Now, if the forehead doesn't reach the floor, then you're going to need your pillow or pillows, okay? And just bring whatever you need underneath your forehead. I'll bring a hand in so you can see what I'm doing. But just bring a head down onto the floor or a pillow. I don't need a pillow, so I'm going to take mine to one side. But just have both arms stretched down in front of you. And just let your chest and your heart melt down towards the ground. Your chest does not need to touch the floor. You might find yours does, but it doesn't need to touch the floor. But just have this like little hammock, this little arching through the spine. And either rest your forehead on the ground, or you can turn your head to one side as I am. I'm just showing you. You can always turn your head to one side as well if that's more comfortable. We're going to hold here for 3 minutes. So let me just check my watch again. So here, close your eyes, let your elbows drop down to the floor, or maybe release the elbows towards the ground. And each time you breathe out, just allow your chest and your heart just to melt down towards the ground, chest and heart melting down. So I said, no pain, no tension at all in your neck, so feel free to turn the head to one side. And if you do turn your head to one side, after about a minute, turn it the opposite way so we don't rest the head on one side all the way through. But I'll tell you when a minute has passed, or I'll tell you when you can turn your head the opposite way. I hope you can hear me. I'm going to turn and face you so maybe you can see what the front waist edge looks like. That's right, your video hasn't paused. I'm just not talking. Just allowing the peace and silence just so you can hear just your breath as it ebbs and flows. You might find that this targets your shoulders, your underarms, your chest, maybe even your middle and lower back. So if you feel this is very, or if you feel it's too strong for you, this would be the modification. Bend one arm in and rest your forehead on your forearm, like so. Or even if you have a shoulder injury, fold that arm in and rest the forehead down. So if you did turn your head to one side, now would be the time to turn it the opposite way. Keep allowing your chest and your heart to keep melting downwards towards the ground. Just the last 30 seconds here. So 3 more slow, deep breaths in and out. And then after that 3rd breath, moving very slowly back up out of this. So walk the hands, the forearms back towards you. That might have felt quite deep in your shoulders. It certainly did mine. And then just come back. We're going to do a little hip opener now. It's called, well, in fact, there's 2 options. There's a more gentler hip opener, but then there's also a deeper one as well. We're going to do half frog or frog pose. So what's the best way to show you? Let me turn face on so I can show you a little bit easier. You might need a couple of pillows over to the right hand side. So what you do is come down onto your belly at long last, bend your right knee up alongside you and bring 1 or 2 pillows underneath it, so you're opening out through that hip flexor, and then turn and face your belly and your chest down towards the floor. Can you see that? And again, we're going to come down, make a little pillow. Oops, Daisy, come back so I can see you. Make a little kind of pillow with the arms. So you can see my leg is raised up on a couple of cushions here, just to help open through this hip joint. Bring the hands into a little pillow and then rest your forehead down on your forearms. So your neck is nice and straight. Now if that feels okay, if that's, actually no, let's stay in half frog. I'm not going to do the full frog. Let's stay in half frog. If it's not deep enough for you, then of course you can always place another pillow underneath that knee. So you can take it as high as you like, but so long as you turn your belly and the pelvis towards the ground and then come back down, that's totally fine. So let me just check my watch again. Yep, I know where we are. Let's just sink into this one and hold it for about 3 minutes, sorry. So rest your forehead down on the ground. Breathe nice and deep. Take your awareness into your pelvis, particularly your right hand side. And every time you breathe out, just relax the inner right thigh. So just relax the inner right thigh as much as you can. Let that right leg grow very heavy. The more we slow down, and the more we just take a little bit of time to be still, the more our body is able to heal. So this restorative yoga targets your nervous and your digestive system. It allows the nervous and digestive system just to relax and release a little bit, which means our body can turn its attention towards the resting and healing that's needed within. So keep growing very heavy through that right leg. Let your breathing be slow and deep. Just checking the watch. Yep, okay. Another 45 seconds here. Take another 3 slow, deep breaths. Okay, after your 3rd breath, come back up onto your hands. Now this time, let me show you what we're going to do first, and then do it, and then you can do it. But I want to be able to show you first whilst you can still see your screen. So what we're going to do, let's get this right, is you're going to thread your left arm over towards the right hand side. Oh, might need a pillow actually underneath your head for this one. So left arm over to the right hand side, and then take your right arm over and backwards. Now maybe you can touch the floor on the other side. That's great if you can. And if not, if you can't touch the floor, then maybe just bring that right hand and rest it on your hip. So your elbow does touch the floor, okay? So wherever your arm wants to go. So do you want to come and try this one? So let me talk you through it again. Make sure you've got a pillow maybe ready for underneath your head. You're going to thread your left arm behind the right arm, so underneath the right. Bring your head down onto your pillow, and then take the right arm over and back behind you. So you're opening out through the shoulder, and if the hand doesn't reach the floor behind you, then just bring that right hand and rest it on your right hip, but let your right elbow drop towards the floor. Now you can either keep looking out to the side or turn your head and look up towards the ceiling, and that is actually a better position for you to be, your gaze up towards the ceiling, because this just introduces a deeper twist. And in fact, by looking up to the ceiling, you might find actually that your right arm can then actually stretch out along the floor. So we're going to turn both palms up towards the ceiling or the sky. And just grow really heavy through the legs and through your hips. And particularly, keep growing very heavy through your right shoulder. So feel as if that right shoulder is being drawn to the ground. So we can open out across the front of the shoulder, the chest. It's nice to do this with the eyes closed. I've still got my right knee propped up on some pillows, so don't worry about taking those pillows away from your right knee. Just another lovely deep twist. Again, just checking the time to make sure we don't overrun. Deep breath in. Deep breath out with a sigh. One more time, deep breath in. And out with a sigh. Now just hold here for another 3/4 of a minute. Allow your muscles and your skin to just fall away from your bones. Muscles and skin fall away from your bones. So we just need to give the body and the tissues a little bit of time just to really let go and lengthen. And long-term benefits of restorative yoga or holding these postures is, of course, not only are you reducing your stress levels and lowering your blood pressure, but you're also increasing the elasticity and flexibility of your soft tissues. So that's your muscles, your ligaments, your tendons, your myofascial tissue. So you're increasing the flexibility and elasticity of the tissues inside of you. And when our tissue is a little bit more flexible like that, then our overall body movements are far easier. Obviously, you know what it's like when you feel tight and stiff or tense in a part of your body. You don't have the full range of movement because inside you've kind of stiffened up a little bit. So these restorative yoga postures really work from the inside out. Just another couple of breaths. Grow heavy through that right shoulder and right arm. One more breath. And then we're going to come out this really slowly. So bring the right arm back over towards the left hand. Bring the right hand onto the floor. Press yourself up. Move those pillows out from underneath your right knee. Oops, lady. And bring them over to the left-hand side, because obviously we're doing the same on the left side. So, moving that pillow to one side. So we're going to start with this half frog pose, stacking these pillows by your left knee, and then bring the left knee, hopefully you can see this, hopefully you can see it, I'm trying to get out of the way. So left knee on top of your pillows, and then turn your belly and your chest down to the floor, and again make a little forearms with your little pillow, your forearms, and then rest your forehead down onto your forearms again. And then close your eyes and just release into this. So just relax. Now you might notice that perhaps one leg or one inner thigh or one hip feels a little tighter than the other. That's normal, by the way. So your rib cage is as flat to the floor as you possibly can, or at least it's facing towards the ground. Your belly is facing as much as possible towards the ground, as is your right hip and your right thigh. So it's just the left leg, the left knee that's lifted up onto these pillows. Can you see that? So we've got a little bit of lift, a little bit of space between the inner left hip and the floor. So, just stay here a moment, take your time, and I'm just going to come out of this because stay where you are. I just wanted to get a little bit of relaxing music lined up for our last posture coming up in a second. And to breathe nice and deep. Oh, I do love yin yoga or restorative yoga. I also absolutely love as well power strong yoga as well as working out with my friend Sarah Louise Pierce, her fitness classes. I love working out in a strong class, but I also really love restorative postures as well. Hopefully you're still in there. Hopefully you're still in those poses, that pose rather. Okay. So your left knee should be level with your left hip. I should have maybe said that earlier. I'm sorry if I didn't. Left knee level with left hip. And let's just hold for one more minute here. You're just taking some slow, deep breaths. Let your left leg grow really heavy. And let that left foot just fall towards the ground. Just take 3 more slow, deep breaths. One more deep breath in and out. And again, moving very slowly, bring your hands back onto the floor. Now we're going to do that little recline twist. So keep the left leg where it is. So the left knee is in line with the left hip. Thread your right arm. Oh, sorry, I'm going to leave my pillow in front of me ready for this one. So thread your right arm behind the left. Take the right arm over as far as you can. And then a little pillow underneath your head. And then the left arm, take it over and back behind you. Now turn your gaze, look up towards the ceiling. And just scoot your right shoulder out from underneath you so you can try and lay as much of the upper back on the ground as possible. Now remember again, if your left arm doesn't reach the floor, you can always bring the left hand onto the left hip and let the left elbow drop down to the ground. But close the eyes. Let both of your legs feel very heavy. And particularly let your left arm and your left shoulder grow super heavy. Imagine somebody is just gently pressing down on your left shoulder. So release the left arm, release the left shoulder. Create a little bit of space on the inside edge of your left shoulder, across the left chest and into your heart space. Eyes closed. Just take another 3 slow deep breaths. And go of that left arm and left shoulder. Lovely. And then after your 3rd breath, you're going to come out this very slowly. So bring the left arm back over towards your right arm. Bring the left hand down on the ground. And press onto that left arm to bring yourself back upwards. How are you doing? We're nearly there. Alrighty, our last one is probably the most loved, I would say. I just need to move my mat away from the wall. I'm scooting towards the wall a bit here. Let me just readjust my mat. Okay, this one is called Shavasana. You probably all know this. And we're going to use some blocks, we'll use some cushions to help us out here a little bit. So the first cushion, I'd like you to bring underneath your knees or your calves, but knees are good. And if you have a blanket, grab your blanket as well, have that nearby to you. And then I'm also going to suggest you bring a couple of cushions just underneath where your shoulder blades are going to be. So I need to bring those a little bit closer. And I'm also going to need that one as well underneath my head. So kind of set yourself up. So a little cushion underneath the knees. And then from here, lay back onto these cushions underneath your shoulder blades. And I said you will need a little cushion or a pillow underneath your head. So don't have your head falling back without any support underneath it. So in fact, I'm just going to raise my cushion up a little bit. It's not quite enough. So putting a book underneath it. Okay, so if you have any lower back issues, I recommend doing this with the feet flat on the floor. And you can have the feet wide as your mat and drop your knees in together. This will help lower your lower spine and back onto the floor. So that is if you have lower back issues. If you're okay with your back, just stretch your legs out long. As I said, make sure that you've got some support underneath the back of your head and your neck. And if you're feeling a bit chilly, this would be where you take your blanket and you just throw it over your body. But I'm not too cold, so I'm not going to bother too much with my blanket, but it's nice to have it. And again, just want to check the time. And just turn a little bit of yogic music on. Hopefully you can hear it. Just helps just to really go within, doesn't it? Alrighty, let's get ourselves comfy, head down. Again, the arms can be up above your head. Arms can be up above your head if you like. This is a really good way to open the chest and the shoulders again. Or a more traditional posture would have the arms down alongside you with the palms turned upwards towards the ceiling, but resting on the floor. Now, I'll tell you what, we're gonna stay here for 3 minutes and I'm not gonna talk, all right? So don't worry, your screen hasn't frozen. If you can still hear the music, then you know we're still live. So let me just check my watch. Okay, here we go. Let's go for this deep steep. So try not to fidget. Just keep dropping all your body weight down to the ground. So release your spine, ribs, release your hips, your legs, buttocks, arms. Just let go. Take another 3 breaths. Going to come out of this really slowly. So bring the arms back down alongside you with the palms turned downwards. Press down through your forearms and your hands and press down to lift your head and shoulders up away from the floor. Hopefully you didn't fall asleep there. Very tempting, isn't it? And then just come back into any comfortable seated position. Now, if you enjoyed any of those stretches, then just maybe give yourself a little bit more time and go back into any of those that you found or you felt were really good for you. I'd be really interested to know your comments. So leave me some comments. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. If you have any questions, would be particularly good to know what you did like so we can do more of it. And yeah, just I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it made you feel a little bit more relaxed. Hope it made you feel a little bit more open. And if you have any questions whatsoever, or you would like to know a particular pose to help a particular part of your body that seems to be tight right now, then just let me know. So just turning my little bit of yogic music down. Bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra or prayer hands and rest your thumbs on your sternum. And then let your sternum just float up to your thumbs, just so your spine rises up. And relax the shoulders and the collarbones down away from the ears. Close your eyes one last time. And just allow a feeling of peace and ease to flush through your body. Peace and ease. Feel the whole body soaking up sensations of peace and ease. And may the peace of yoga stay with you. I wish you peace in your heart. I wish you peace in your mind. And I wish you peace in your bodies always. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Holy peace. Namaste. Thank you. Until next time. Thank you very much. If you have any requests for future yoga sessions, please let me know. We can always incorporate those, as I'm just coming slowly towards the screen to turn it off. So thanks. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a pleasant evening. Take care all. Bye bye.